Pokemon Go just announced the best new feature that has come to this game in like 4 years. I couldn't believe it when I first read it. This is crazy. Origin Form Dialga and Origin Form Palkia are coming to Pokemon Go, and they have brand new effects, unique effects that we've never seen before in Pokemon Go. So here's what's going on. Origin Form Dialga and Palkia will be available for the first time during Pokemon Go Tour Sinnoh. So we talked about when that was announced how it seemed like there were some parts missing, there were some things missing, some Pokemon missing. It seems like we're going to get these sort of announcements leading up to it, that we're getting more than just what was initially announced. The first edition, Origin Form Dialga and Palkia, which I'll be honest, I think are just really ugly. Dialga especially, like what is that? What am I looking at? Regardless of what I think of their looks, they're introducing a brand new feature called Adventure Effects. Adventure Effects are temporary bonuses to help you on your Pokemon Go adventure, activated by powerful Pokemon attacks that can be used outside of battle. Adventure Effects have been reported to occur when Origin Form Dialga uses Roar of Time, and when Origin Form Palkia uses Spatial Rend. These are Dialga and Palkia's exclusive moves. We've been waiting for them for a long time, and not only are they finally getting them, but they do something amazing. They're debuting at Sinnoh Tour in Los Angeles, and then they're available globally the following weekend. If you have a ticket for Sinnoh Tour LA, you can get them that first weekend. If you don't have a ticket, you can still participate in the raids, but you won't be able to get a shiny, and you won't be able to get the signature moves until Global Sinnoh Tour. So if you're going to Sinnoh Tour, you can invite friends who don't have a ticket to the raids, but they won't be able to get the new move and they won't be able to get a shiny. You can only get a shiny on the weekend of Sinnoh Tour LA if you have a ticket. You can only get the exclusive moves if you have a ticket. And then the following weekend for Global Sinnoh Tour, everything is available globally, worldwide, for everyone. You can get the moves, you can get the shiny. Now, let's talk about what those effects actually are. Roar of Time. Trainers can activate the adventure effect associated with Roar of Time by using 5,000 Stardust and 5 Dialga Candy, distorting time for 6 minutes, and pausing the timer of the following items: Incense, Daily Adventure Incense, Lucky Eggs, and Star Pieces. When you use Roar of Time outside of battle, it basically adds 6 minutes to all your items' timers: Incense, Daily Adventure Incense, Lucky Eggs, and Star Pieces. You can extend the timer for Roar of Time's adventure effect in increments of 6 minutes by using more Stardust and Dialga Candy, and the timer can be extended up to 2 hours each time you tap use, and you can tap use again to add additional time, up to 24 hours total. Wait, that just confused me. Okay, here's what it sounds like to me. Number one, up to 24 hours total, meaning you can have a 24-hour daily adventure incense. You can go about your entire day with a daily adventure incense running, meaning encountering legendary birds all day, up to 24 hours. You can put on 1 incense, 1 lucky egg, 1 star piece in the morning, and then extend them all for the entire day. Of course, it does cost Stardust and Dialga Candy, so you'll have to get Dialga Candy by raiding. You'll have to play a lot to get a lot of Stardust, but I mean, even just extending it for like an hour, you want to go out for an hour and run your daily incense the whole time? You can do that. The wording on how to activate it is kind of confusing. It sounds like you press use and you can choose like 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 18 minutes, plus, until you get to 2 hours, and then send it, and then you can tap use again and decide if you want to add 6 minutes, 12 minutes, 18 minutes, all the way up to another 2 hours. Send it. That's what it sounds like to me, but we know for sure up to 24 hours total. Let's do the math on that. 5,000 dust and 5 Dialga Candy for 6 minutes, 1,440 minutes in a day, divided by 6 equals 240 activations. 240 times 5,000 Stardust equals 1.2 million Stardust, and times 5 candy, 1,200 candy. So 1.2 million dust and 1,200 candy to actually make it last for 24 hours, meaning you're gonna have to raid a lot to get that candy. So is it actually gonna be worth the cost you would save on buying extra star pieces, lucky eggs, incense, I'm not sure. But being able to extend the daily adventure incense is by far the most interesting part for me. The announcement does also say that Origin Form Dialga will be unable to learn Roar of Time via any TM at this time. They might be able to in the future. I don't know if the move is guaranteed from the raids during Sinnoh Tour, but you can't teach the move via TM. Let's continue though. Let's talk about Spatial Rend, Palkia's signature move. Trainers can activate the adventure effect associated with Spatial Rend by using 5,000 Stardust and 5 Palkia candies, distorting space for 10 minutes, and allowing for encounters with wild Pokemon at an increased distance. You can extend the timer for increments of 10 minutes, up to 2 hours, up to a total of 24 hours, just like Roar of Time. So it sounds like what Spatial Rend does is increase your encounter radius, and I'm guessing it'll probably double it to the same radius as the Pokestop radius right now. So you know how you can interact with Pokestops further than you can actually see wild spawns in-game? It sounds like Spatial Rend will increase your spawn distance to match the Pokestop distance, which I think is 80 meters, meaning you can get a wider circle of spawns by standing in one place. Personally, I don't see myself using this one as much as Roar of Time to extend daily incense, which sounds really fun to me. But that is a really nice feature, you know? You can see more Pokemon. If you're walking the same path that you normally walk when you're grinding, you can increase your encounter radius and get even more Pokemon on that same path. If you get to a point where there's a Pokemon at a Pokestop and it's just out of reach of your spawn radius, you can use Spatial Rend to increase your spawn radius and see that Pokemon. Even if you're just playing from home, you can expand your spawn radius from where you normally sit at home when you check your house spawns and get even more house spawns just with a quick 10-minute activation. So there's definitely a lot of useful applications for it, and honestly, both of these are just, they're big new features. Like, this is exciting stuff. It's been a while since I've read about a new Pokemon Go feature and actually like legitimately thought, this is really cool. Now, it is going to get pretty expensive, and you are probably going to have to raid a lot up front to get a lot of candy if you want to use it multiple times. You're going to have to raid them a lot during Sinnoh Tour, and there's extra caveats here. Encounter Origin Form Dialga and Origin Form Palkia in 5-star raids during space-time anomalies, beginning with Pokemon Go Tour Sinnoh. What are space-time anomalies? I'm glad you asked. I'm also going to find out right now. Space-time anomalies are mysterious phenomena connecting our world to the distant past. Thanks to these anomalies, Pokemon first discovered in Hisui region will appear in habitats and raids during Sinnoh Tour. At Go Tour LA, a space-time anomaly will occur for the last 30 minutes of each hour during your ticketed event hours. At Global Go Tour, a space-time anomaly will occur for the entirety of the Ancient Grove and Geothermal Lagoon habitats. So there's going to be like a special time that Dialga and Palkia are available in raids, and also Hisuian Pokemon will be available in the wild during those times. So you can get Origin Form Dialga and Palkia during space-time anomalies, and then on top of that, trainers participating in Pokemon Go Tour Sinnoh Global Sinnoh Tour will have a chance at encountering these Pokemon with their signature attacks. The version of the event you choose will affect your chances. Trainers who choose the Diamond version will encounter Origin Form Dialga that knows Roar of Time. Trainers who choose the Pearl version will encounter an Origin Form Palkia that knows Spatial Rend. Okay, what that sounds like to me is that maybe as some kind of timed research or special research, depending on the version you choose, you will get one guaranteed from that research, but they'll also be in raids throughout the event. I don't think it means you can only get the signature move for the one that you choose, Diamond or Pearl, but if it does, then, I mean, you can just trade with someone, hopefully. But to me, it sounds more like that means you'll get one from like a special research or something. There's a little bit more to it. Don't forget, these are also moves that you can use in battle, so Roar of Time and Spatial Rend will be available as new moves to use in PvP, to use in raid battles, and yeah, I mean, they'll probably be pretty strong for that as well. Dialga and Palkia's Origin forms actually have slightly more defensive stats than the regular forms, so they're not even as good of attackers as the regular forms, and the regular forms aren't great attackers for raids to begin with. So I think the more important piece here is definitely the adventure effects. using them as raid counters is not going to be super important, meaning you can save all that candy instead of using it to power them up, save that candy to just activate the adventure effects a bunch of times. PvP though is another story. Since they're more defensive, they'll probably be a little bit better in PvP. Dialga's already pretty good. They're actually both pretty good in Master League PvP. So if you're a PvPer, you probably got to choose between, well, you might have to just do more raids to power them up and to use the adventure effects. So that's about it for this exciting and a little bit confusing, but mostly exciting announcement for Pokemon Go. Let me know what you think about these brand new adventure effects coming to Pokemon Go down in the comments. Personally, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to try to do a really long adventure incense and see if I can finally get a Galarian bird. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.